Hello, my name is Rob MacArthur. I am co-founder of CBD Curators, and this is my story. Several people have asked me what made me decide to open up a CBD store, and I think the uniqueness of my story can be used to some benefit to some people, so I thought I would share it with you. So I originally found CBD about a year ago in the first quarter of 2019. I was in Massachusetts. I was walking through a mall, and lo and behold, there was a CBD store, and I had heard about CBD, and so I bought some of the products, and I found that they worked, and I was very surprised at that. So unfortunately, I've had three lower back surgeries. I've had my first surgery on my L5-S1 disc when I was 18 years old, had a second one when I was 29, and then another one when I was around 45. Unfortunately, the third surgery, which was a spinal fusion, did lead to some recurring pain in the months thereafter. So I started taking OxyContin. And unfortunately, OxyContin, while it works as a painkiller, sort of, has some very unattractive side effects to it, mainly addiction, certainly affected my mood negatively, and has some other rather unpleasant side effects. So, of course, I had to take more and more of it. Eventually, I got up to taking approximately 30 milligrams per day. Much to the chagrin of my wife, my mood was not very good. I was feeling depressed, and generally it wasn't a good thing. So I was taking OxyContin for approximately 4 years, up until a year ago, and so I started taking the CBD. I bought some gummy bears, I bought some tinctures. I at one point gotten my marijuana license and went that route, so I had experimented with CBD that way. Didn't particularly have a good experience. I got high more or less, and I really didn't want to be high. But I did take the CBD that I bought in Massachusetts, and it certainly made my pain go away. And obviously, when my pain went away, that made the demand for having opiates in my system go down. And I've unfortunately had to detox off of opiates a couple of times, and I know what that process is like. And to go from 30 milligrams to zero can take 6 to 8 months if you taper it down slowly. And if you don't, you go through opiate withdrawal, which basically leads to waking up in the middle of the night shaking, and it's generally speaking, opiate withdrawal feels like a hangover plus the worst flu you can imagine times 10. It's just not a pleasant thing. And so what I noticed was that the CBD not only made my pain go away, but it also made my withdrawal symptoms go away. So I was able to taper off of the Percocet or OxyContin over the course of, 6 to 8 weeks as opposed to 6 to 8 months. So I was very happy with that. And I'm also have type 2 bipolar disorder, which I've had for several decades. I've been taking medication for that, and I was taking Wellbutrin and Trazodone, which are two antidepressants, and I found that the CBD improved my mood as well, and made the depression that was kind of going along with the opiates. So within 2 months of starting CBD, I was able to stop taking OxyContin, I was able to stop taking Wellbutrin, and I was able to stop taking Trazodone as well. So needless to say, CBD really changed my life, and I just couldn't believe the effect that it was really having on my body. I've been working on Wall Street for the last 25 years. I've been basically an investment analyst, and so I'm an innately curious person. So of course, when this CBD started to work, I started to research this stuff and say, hey, what is all this about? And obviously there were a lot of marijuana stocks that were doing well, and CBD was sort of started to be thrown around with some of the stocks that were in the marijuana sector. And so I started to research this stuff, saying, hey, I got to, figure this out because there could be some good stock opportunities. Not thinking I'm just going to like throw away my career and start a chain of CBD stores. So anyway, I went and visited my friend Eric Meyer, who I've known for 25 years, also in the investment business, and said, hey, I found this CBD thing and it's really helping me. Maybe there's an opportunity here. And, I shared with him my story of, like I said, having had 3 surgeries and so on. And needless to say, he was intrigued. And so together we started to research this new substance that was legalized by the Farm Act. And I found out that hey, there are a lot of other people that have been helped by CBD, regardless of the fact that it's not approved by the FDA yet, and all the regulatory stuff, etc. But there is a lot of anecdotal evidence of people out there who, just like me, who've had various ailments. And so I started to experiment with some various products, and finally decided that I wanted to get into the business more seriously. And aside from having type 2 bipolar disorder, I also have had PTSD, which was caused by some physical abuse from a stepfather when I was in high school. And that caused a lot of very violent dreams over the course of the rest of my life, and I have not been a very good sleeper. Part of being bipolar is you tend to not sleep very well, and I noticed that as I started to take larger doses of CBD, that my sleep was vastly improved, and that the violence in my dreams, the intensity of my dreams really went down. So suddenly my sleep was very much improved, and I also was taking a mood stabilizer for bipolar disorder. And I've been taking that for 20 years plus. And so I, much to the chagrin of my psychiatrist, decided to tell him that I'm taking myself off of the mood stabilizer, that I felt very confident that CBD could stabilize my mood naturally without the need for pharmaceuticals. Certainly not recommended by the psychiatric community, but I did so at my own peril and found that I really didn't need it anymore. I still do take a medication for sleep because I do have some sleep problems that I don't think even CBD can solve, but certainly the quality of my sleep is much improved. So needless to say, CBD knocked the pain out of my life. It knocked the anxiety and depression out of my life, and it improved my sleep. And so I'm a new man. I feel like $1 million. I feel fantastic. And so then I started to learn that other people have used CBD for anxiety, and I started to understand that people are using it for ADD and ADHD, and I found all these uses that I've just heard some incredible stories. So Eric and I decided that we should really invest a lot of time in doing this. And while the FDA is not approved CBD yet, it seems to me that people don't want to wait around for the FDA, particularly seniors. It's like, think of the person who is dying of cancer and is being told that they can't use cannabis because cannabis is illegal. So very people basically said, I don't care if it's going to improve my appetite because of chemo, I'm going to use it. And I think that's sort of the way CBD has gone. I certainly found in my research that a lot of senior citizens, my mother included, 74 years old, oh, this is snake oil, doesn't work, puts a little bit of salve on her arthritis on her hands, and all of a sudden, the pain's gone away. And I found that that CBD is a very strong anti-inflammatory, and that the small component of THC, the 0.3% or less, acts as a muscle relaxer kind of thing. So the two of them seem to work together to relieve my back pain, because I could go to like a massage therapist and have a massage for an hour and then feel good for about 15 minutes, and then because of the scar tissue and other problems in my lower back, the muscles would tighten right back up, and it wouldn't do me any good because I would be in permanent muscle spasm. But with a little bit of THC, and who knows what cannabinoids do the same thing, I found that I got a lot of muscle relaxation. So that the anti-inflammatory component of CBD, and then the anti-muscle spasm component for THC, the two of them are really a nice tag team that work together. So, and since then, I've been testing products and testing dozens and dozens of products, and I think there's a lot of interesting research that needs to be done, and it's probably starting to be done at the academic level in CBN, CBG, and I'm even especially interested in CBC, and I'm wondering if that is the cannabinoid that contributes most to improving mood, because I'm certainly interested in having my mood improved. So anyway, this is the reason that we are starting CBD Curators. Thank you.